Being a Tyson Fury fan hasn't been easy in the last year, and I'm afraid it's potentially going to get a hell of a lot more difficult. I did a video yesterday on the channel reporting the news that Tyson Fury had tweeted out a potential comeback for himself on May the 13th. Today, IFL TV attended the press conference for Gervonta Davis versus Liam Walsh. Good fight, by the way. We'll talk about that on the podcast, which is every Wednesday on this channel. And they spoke directly to Frank Warren about Tyson Fury's return. And if any of you haven't seen that interview, I urge you go and check it out on IFL TV. It's their interview today with Frank Warren. And you'll notice Frank Warren is far from confirming the return of Tyson Fury for that date. He actually says something, and I'm not going to quote him, because if you want a direct quote, go and watch the interview, but he says something to the effect of, well, let's hope so. He's got a hearing with the British Boxing Board of Control and UCAD or whatever. Let's hope at some point he can be back. You know, Frank Warren was a hell of a long way away from confirming the return of Tyson Fury. For me, it was pretty clear from that interview that they're not in a position where, you know, this is set in stone. Because let's have it right, Frank Warren would be desperate to promote the return of a guy with Tyson Fury's profile on one of his bills, if that was anywhere near being confirmed. So possibly concerning news for people who bought into the announcement that Tyson Fury would be returning to the sport May 13th. But I'm afraid it's not as simple as that. Tyson Fury also tweeted out, I'll see if I can quote the direct tweet. He put, "I will be boxing on a BUI boxing licence from now on." BUI is the Irish board. "Want nothing more to do with the BBOC. All they do is find me anyways. Boom." To repeat, and I'll paraphrase, "I will be boxing on an Irish licence from now on. Want nothing more to do with the British Boxing Board of Control. All they do is find me anyway." So that's a tweet from Tyson Fury. Now, an article today in The Sun, not always the most reliable source, The Sun, but nevertheless, for those of you who are international, probably the newspaper in the UK with the biggest distribution. And the headline is, "Tyson Fury's claims of Boxing Union of Ireland licence dismissed by governing body. Ex-world champ claimed he would beat his ban from the sport by getting licence from BUI." And this was by Duncan Wright, published today, 7th of March 2017. And I'll quote directly from the article. "Tyson Fury's claim to be fighting under an Irish professional licence has been dismissed by the Boxing Union of Ireland. Fury says he plans to return to the ring on May 13th and that he is looking at opponents with promoter Frank Warren. But after the British Boxing Board of Control insisted he would not be able to fight because he is still suspended, Fury took to Twitter to claim he was getting a licence from the BUI. Yet the Irish governing body say they have no record of any application to box again from Fury and insist they would have to take any suspension into account if he did apply. A BUI spokesman said the Boxing Union of Ireland has received no application from Mr. Fury. While we cannot prejudge any application, what we do know is that he is already suspended by another governing body, and that would have to take into consideration if any application was made. Fury saw his licence revoked in October after he admitted serious mental health problems going on drug and drink binges. And later on they quote the General Secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control, Robert Smith, who says Tyson Fury is suspended. Fury's had a lot of issues. He needs to deal with it before he even thinks about getting in the ring properly. He has an anti-doping issue. He has other medical issues that all have to be considered. We haven't had any contact with him since he was suspended, so I would expect if he was looking to box shortly, he'll need to contact us. He hasn't done so, and therefore nothing has changed. He is not in a position to box." So, appreciate that was a fairly long-winded quote, but I feel like we need to give you guys the context here. So let's have it right. Tyson Fury's taken to Twitter and he's made the following statements. Number one, he's returning May 13th. Number two, he's getting an Irish boxing licence. Now, even if we're being charitable to Tyson Fury, even if we're really, really being charitable to Tyson Fury, let's say that Fury has been extremely premature in making both of those announcements, because if you believe that report, and if you believe Frank Warren's interview with IFL TV, it is fair to say that both of those are a long way away from being in a position where they are confirmed. Frank Warren didn't flat out come out and say Tyson Fury can't box May 13th. The Irish Boxing Board didn't say he can't have an Irish licence by May 13th. But it was very, very clear that Tyson Fury's return on the 13th was not set in stone, not confirmed. And it was very, very clear that Tyson Fury does not have an Irish licence, and further to that, has not applied for an Irish licence. And even if he were to apply for an Irish licence, it seemed very, very unclear that the Irish board would actually give him an Irish licence based on his suspension from the British Boxing Board of Control. Now, look, we all know that heavyweights out there can get licences if they need to. You know, I believe Danny Williams is still boxing on some sort of licence. I believe Hay and Chisora went and got some sort of international European licence. When they had their fights, they were suspended by the British Boxing Board of Control. So, look, if Tyson Fury wants to get a licence and he doesn't care what sanctioning body he gets the licence from, then I'm sure he can go out and get it. Fundamentally, if he doesn't get a British licence, the only real negative, as far as I can see it, is that you can't box for the British title. And I think realistically, Tyson Fury's days of boxing for the British title are long past him anyway. So if he wants a licence, I'm sure he can go out and get a licence. And I'm sure if he makes himself available, Frank Warren will put him on a bill, because he would be by far the biggest name in Frank Warren's promotion, and having access to a guy like Tyson Fury and being able to put him on cards is going to, you know, be an absolute game changer for Frank Warren's business. So, you know, being charitable to Tyson Fury, if he's decided he wants to make a comeback, and if he's decided he's not going to get a British Boxing Board of Control licence, then I'm sure he can probably name the date he fights on, and I'm sure he can get some sort of European licence of some variety that will allow him to fight in some way or another. But we've had confusing signals from the Fury camp in the past. We've actually had many confusing and almost trolling tweets from Tyson Fury in the past, where he has said he's retiring, then not retiring, then calling out Deontay Wilder, then not retiring. You get the picture. So all I'm saying from this video is, you know, I always say if I start a story on my channel and then there's an update, I like to cover it. And yesterday I put up the video of, you know, Tyson Fury's potentially making a comeback, and you know, over 2,000 people have viewed that video since it went up. So I feel it's only fair to do another video with some additional information as it's, you know, come to my attention. But it's a very, very, very hazy, confusing, distorted picture at present. There's a suspension. It's unclear that he's been in touch with any of the licensing bodies, and it's very, very unclear whether he actually is, you know, in communications with Frank Warren regarding May 13th. So a bizarre situation with Tyson Fury. A bit of a bizarre situation with Hughie Fury. You know, I wonder if it's to do with this UCAD hearing that, you know, seems to be ever more delayed. Perhaps now it's going to be May, not April. But you wonder if that dragging on behind the scenes is the real reason behind all of these bizarre circumstances. The Hughie Parker contract not being signed, the Hughie Ruiz fight not happening, Tyson Fury's retirement from the sport. You know, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there who believe that Tyson Fury's health issues were invented as a means to be absent from the sport during a suspension or ban that would have arose from the UCAD hearing. So look, I don't know what the situation is. As a Fury fan, it's frustrating. Look, when I made the video yesterday, I heavily disclaimed it that you couldn't totally trust it due to the shape that Tyson Fury was in, and, you know, due to his history of tweets that maybe don't always add up. But it is disappointing news. You know, certainly I was toying with the possibility in my mind that Tyson Fury will be back in May, and having seen that interview with Frank Warren, and if you haven't checked it out, check it out and make your own opinion. But drop me a comment and let me know your opinion. My instinct is, having seen that with Frank Warren, that May the 13th date isn't happening. If that was happening, Frank would be selling it from the rooftops. But drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts, people. Keen for everyone else's take on this. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel or you haven't done so before, please take the time to subscribe so you can check out all my other stuff. Many thanks indeed for watching.